I have to say, it's a bit thing sitting here with you, knowing that the guys next door have a massive TV with your faces.
I know.
Imagine how we feel.
Yeah, you are there. Congrats on the show, guys.
Thank you so much.
It is so much fun. Me and my fiance watched some last night, and we had to stop ourselves from blitzing it because I'm quite old-fashioned, and I like to
take it slow.
Take
you
my
like
time.
to sort of,
Yeah, I'm a bit old-fashioned. Tease yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah. When you read the scripts for these, I can imagine, you get scripts, and you're like, oh, I enjoyed this script and everything else, but this one must have felt very, very special. And you were like, I don't care if I have to be a background actor or just walk across the screen. I want to be part of the show.
Yeah. I mean, it jumps off the page. The entire world, like the world building is so fun and so full. And the characters are all... The thing I love so much about this show is that there are so many characters. It is an ensemble that there's sort of a story for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And it's fun for the whole family.
Yeah.
Except for maybe the little kids, but everyone
keep
else.
them away from it. I think it's just such a unique show in terms of tone. There was this amazing thing that I remember at one of my auditions, I said to Gemma, our showrunner, I said, just out of interest, I was like, what is your target audience for this? And she was like, there isn't a target audience, it's everyone. And I was like, this makes so much sense all of a sudden. And I was like, the range of characters, the range of genres, and everything sort of mashed together, I think creates a delicious soup of a show, yeah.
It's great, actually. I was saying this to some of the other guys interviewing them about it doesn't fit in a box. And I think a lot of people audiences quite like that at the minute, like taking a genre, kind of deconstructing it in some ways and giving it to audiences with a fresh take. Are they the sort of shows that you guys watch now, like, given that this is quite like that?
I mean, I watch it like pretty much everything. I'm a big consumer of media, TV and movies.
Encyclopedia brain of films and cartoons.
But
and stuff.
one of our big inspirations is A Knight's Tale and The Princess Bride, which I think, they don't fit in that box. They are so unique in the way that they sort of subvert all these tropes and like go into all these different genres. And that has always been, one of the reasons I want to be an actor, because you watch things like that and you're like, that must be so fun to be a part of.
Paul Bettany in A Knight's Tale is the reason that I'm an actor. I was 7 when I watched that film, and I was like, I want to do that. The like charisma and the like fun and the like complete disregard for like the rules in that film, I think is like when I got this script through, I was like, I can't believe it. I'm auditioning for something that feels in the world of A Knight's Tale, and we I feel like we achieved something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm no Heath, but
none of us are Heath.
Thank you. Yeah, it's too high.
Even The Knight's Tale, Heath Ledger is just like brilliant. But then 6 years later, he's like, "Hey, here's the Joker," and you're like,
"Oh no!"
Well, that's it.
What? Oh no! Truly miraculous. In that movie, I have never been more in love with a person that I've never met in my entire life.
Oh my gosh, he is. It's something to behold. Yes.
Yeah. Also, that film has such an ace soundtrack.
Yeah.
This show. It's like the
similar
merging
again.
of,
Yeah. Exactly.
This period plus these contemporary songs.
I think that's something that's really fun, and I think it's going to be a great soundtrack because we're taking all these sort of rock and roll 60s songs, English rock and roll, and then we're doing a little twist with female covers, which just kind of fits the show better. And I think, a lot of good songs are being, brought back. Yeah,
the cover of The Chain by Chinchilla is
so cool.
Amazing that we use. I think it's in one of the trailers.
Yeah.
We have a Zeppelin song.
You do have a Zeppelin song.
Which is so crazy to me that when I found out, I almost died.
Yeah. Congrats on your accent, by the
way. Thank you.
I wanted to ask you both about sword fighting.
Yeah.
Tell me about training, stunt training, sword fighting, because not everybody gets to not just do fight scenes, but sword fighting.
It's like very cool.
I never knew the swords were plastic until we were on the day. I was like, all the metal sound effects are in late, and thank goodness, because I then picked up one of the metal ones and was like, I am just like not strong enough to swing this around.
They are so heavy.
I was like, I could never fight a man with a sword because I can't lift it up. But then sort of like, so it's really funny in the moment, you're doing all of this rehearsal and it makes this sort of like very like limp sort of plasticky sound, like and then our amazing stunt team, I remember talking to them about that and they were like, you wait until the sound's in and you just, your brain absolutely believes it's metal so quickly.
And it was funny because our schedules were so jam-packed that we couldn't always go to a studio to stunt rehearse. So often it would be in between like in a day, we'd be at Hampton Court Palace. Be like, hold on, let's go to the park real quick and learn this new choreography.
Wearing a hoodie, sword fighting Dominic Cooper down the sort of corridor somewhere.
Fun times.
In a studio, it was really, really fun. Our stunt team were amazing. Our stunt doubles were fantastic.
There's a little cameo of them.
There is a cameo because our stunt doubles are actually married, and they needed someone in the tavern scene. They needed a couple to be French kissing, I would say. And they were like, wait, we've got just the people. And reeled him in for a snog.
I've got 1 minute left, so I'll give you the quick fire questions I've been giving everybody today.
Okay.
So the narration on this is fantastic.
Yeah.
Oliver Chris, amazing. If you could pick an actor to narrate your own life, who would it be?
Bill Murray.
That's such a oh my god.
Yeah, right.
Emily Bader.
That's cheating. You gotta think of something better. Dude.
Oh,
Come on.
what? I thought I was clever
okay.
and subversive.
Emily Bader, American, or Emily Bader?
Emily Bader, Emily Bader, American, actually. I like you just as you are.
Okay.
Perfect.
There you go. There you go. Also, I've been asking people if you obviously you transform into animals, and everyone's probably saying, "What animal do you transform into?" My question is, if you could transform into any other famous person for a day and experience their life for just a few hours, who would it be?
Dua Lipa.
That's a good one.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray, again, every single one. That's good. And I'm going to ask you one more, and you're going to say the same thing. If you can pick any actor that you love to be in a season 2,
Olivia Colman.
Oh my gosh, that's
I was
such a
expecting
good
Bill
one.
Murray.
I can't do all three.
Yeah.
All three, yeah.
The hat trick of Bill Murray's would have been fun. I think in this, I would love to see. Oh my gosh, I've forgotten every single actor in
Bill
the
Murray.
whole world. I would like. I think Andrew Scott would be fabulous in
Oh,
this.
that's, yes.
I would.
Yes.
That would be sick.
None of you have said the same person yet. Everyone
Oh
said
really?
yes. So that's good.
Any other fun ones that have come up?
Beyonce.
Beyonce.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Hugh Grant idea was a good one.
Oh yeah, that is a good
It's
one.
Amazon, they got the budget.
Oh
What
yeah,
do you
come
want?
on, Hugh.
Guys, congratulations on the show.
Thank you
for
so
your time.
much.
So lovely to meet
Thank you.
both.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good luck with it all.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys.
Hey, you guys.
Hey you guys.
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey you guys.
Hey, you guys!